Diana was killed in the crash in August 1997, sparking national mourning and, at times, fierce criticism of the royal family's emotionless reaction to the tragedy. But in a new book by royal biographer Ingrid Seward, she claims the Queen could barely believe what she was hearing. She said, according to one witness present when the Queen heard the initial news, she mused out loud, "Someone must have greased the brakes." That astonishing remark reveals something of the extraordinary and complex relationship between her and Diana. The book is also said to explore the ever-changing relationship between the Queen and Diana. The Queen was initially thought to be very fond of Lady Diana Spencer when she first visited Balmoral, aged 19. Her Majesty wrote to a friend, "She is one of us. I am very fond of all three of the Spencer girls." But as Diana grew anxious under the royal glare, this resulted in a rather cold and complex relationship between the Queen and Princess. The shocking claims come as a previously unseen collection of 14 behind-the-scene photos of Diana's wedding to Prince Charles in 1981 were released this week. Diana is pictured alongside her mother-in-law as they walk along the corridor of Buckingham Palace in the aftermath of the ceremony. But, despite the joyous occasion, there appears to be little warmth between the two women. Just moments earlier, Diana had married the Queen's son in front of thousands of well-wishers at St. Paul's Cathedral. However, it is thought cracks began to appear when the Queen became troubled by the unflagging media attention, and during her Christmas broadcast, Her Majesty decided to instead dwell on a garden party, which attracted 3,500 guests with disabilities to the palace, rather than the wedding celebrations of Charles and Diana. Intriguingly, the christening of the couple's first child, Prince William Arthur Philip Louis, fell on the Queen Mother's 82nd birthday, so that she instead of the baby was the center of attention. But years later the Queen would self-loathe for not noticing her son's estranged marriage, and instead the Prince of Wales would seek comfort in pouring his heart out to the Queen Mother and later Camilla Parker Bowles. Ms. Seward writes in the Daily Mail, like her own mother, the Queen has always coped with troublesome emotions by keeping the various difficulties of her reign in airtight compartments and never confronting the unpalatable. But the marriage breakdown could not be ignored forever, and when Prime Minister John Major told the Commons that with regret, the Prince and Princess of Wales have decided to separate on December 9, 1992, the Queen took solace in taking her beloved corgis out for a walk in the fields of Norfolk. But the next 5 years would bring little respite for the Queen and cast a cloud over the monarch's rule. As news of Princess Diana's death rocked the nation, the royal family faced a barrage of criticism over their decision to stay in Balmoral, instead of returning to London, and for refusing to fly a half-mast over Buckingham Palace. But when the Queen returned to London on September 5, she finally broke her silence over Princess Diana's death. She addressed the nation as your Queen and as a grandmother and paid tribute to Diana, saying, "She was an exceptional and a gifted human being. In good times and bad, she never lost her capacity to smile and laugh, nor to inspire others with her warmth and kindness. I admired her and respected her especially for her devotion to her two boys." And 7 years later, she opened the Diana Memorial Fountain in Hyde Park, where she recalled the shock news of Diana's death. She said, "Certainly the days that followed are etched on my memory as we as a family and nation came to terms with the loss, united by an extraordinary sense of shock, grief and sadness. But 18 years on from her darkest point, it may be difficult to remember the cloud cast over the Queen's rule as she looks to becoming the longest reigning monarch in British history on September 9, surpassing the 63 years and 7 months that her great-great-grandmother Victoria was Queen. It also appears that Prince Charles' second wife and once mistress Camilla has the royal seal of approval, with the Queen making a rare comment at the couple's wedding reception on April 9, 2005, comparing the obstacles that Charles and Camilla had encountered to the Grand Natoinal racecourse. She told guests, "They have overcome Becker's Brook in the chair, and all kinds of obstacles. They have come through and I'm very proud and wish them well. My son is home and dry with the woman he loves."